Teaching Al, and today I have 10 free math resources for you. My first one is Khan Academy, so let me take you to that and kind of guide you through the website. I really enjoy this website for my own personal use because there have been times when I've had to review different math topics because this isn't just a website of learning for older kids or high school kids. It goes all the way to preschool, even to college with some of the topics in calculus and linear algebra. So let's take a look at some of the third grade curriculum. And I would highly recommend logging in and registering your children so that they can do two things. One, keep track of their progress, and two, there's a quiz-like element called a mastery challenge where they just kind of take a little quiz over different math topics, and it kind of places them or shows what they already know and what they can work on. So if you have like a third grader, maybe they need to work on more challenging topics in fourth grade, or maybe there are a couple of things they need to review in second grade, and this will kind of show them where their areas of strength and where their areas of weakness are. So let's just look at the very first intro to multiplication. So if you click on one of the topics, it'll take you to it. And over on the side, there are videos you can watch. I'll show you one of those real quick. I'll play a minute or a couple. Oops, there's no sound on this.
Counting the pigs, but we're going to start building some new muscles. And this muscle is going to involve, hey, if we group the pigs into equal groups.
So basically, each video has a man speaking over like a kind of a whiteboard, blackboard situation, and he's giving examples and talking about how you solve different math problems. So there are videos to watch if a kid or a student isn't quite understanding a topic. Those are good to review. If they just need practice, over here are the practice questions, and they're very basic. Skip count by fours, 4, 8, 12, 16, so there are 16 walruses in all, and then it'll check, and it will show how much you've mastered as you do it. So, like I said, really great resource, really quality content. Maybe not the most flashiest or game-oriented content, but still very worth your while, or worth it a student's while to do. So that's my first resource. My second resource is I Practice Math. Now, I have not used this in my own classroom, but it does seem like a good resource that is for free. So they have like the Khan Academy. They have multiple grade levels. Let's look at elementary, and let's look at first grade this time. And it's just a bunch of questions that they can practice. So if we did comparing numbers up to 100, now it's not a perfect website because you can see some of the grammar is a little off, but it still has some good questions. It's for free. It's an all right thing to do. So is 31 greater than 3? True. Submit answer. Excellent. And you can keep going. So there's I Practice Math. And my third resource is one that I used a lot in my own classroom. It's IXL Math. Now, if you are a teacher or a homeschooling parent, one place I would go to is over here. There's standards, and you can click on your state. So say you're from California. You can click on it, and then you can go by grade level. So let's do kindergarten this time. And you can see all of the standards, and then it has practice to pair with the standards. So count pictures, and it lets them practice this. And if it's a younger student, it will read out loud the question to them.
How many lions are there?
If they need an example, there's an example to show how to do it, and then they can practice it. So there's 9 lions, submit. And well done. And so they have this, you can also go to learning. If you just want to go just general grade level, that's fine. It goes all the way up to calculus with the practice. Really, really quality practice site. Khan Academy and IXL Math are some of my favorite math resources that are for free. Now, there is a membership. When I was a teacher, I was able to have all my students and see their progress and where their strengths and weaknesses were. So that was helpful. My district provided the membership fee, or they paid for the membership fee for me, so I didn't pay anything out of pocket. But you can still access these resources for individual children. You just might not be able to track them. And that's why Khan Academy might be a little bit better, because it's free and it will track a student's progress for you. But I kind of like, for younger kids, I kind of like the visuals on this site. So my next resource is Fact Monster. So this is another one that kind of has a lot of ads, but it still has some decent practice materials. And this is just flashcards and math fluency practice. So you can start with level 1 and see if they can level up. How many tasks can you solve in 2 minutes? And so it's just for them to use their keyboard to answer questions. And so it would go on like that. So that's Fact Monster. My next one is Extra Math. This is another fluency practice one. I'm going to show you a video in a moment of what it kind of looks like, but this is another one that you need to sign up for, but it is free. So it is good to use and to keep track of their math progress. So about the student activities, let's show that.
Extra math activities. Fingers. Questions correctly in under 3 seconds. A student who can recall arithmetic facts in 3 seconds or less meets standards and demonstrates fluency. Extra math shows a problem to the student, and the student types in the answer as quickly as possible. If the student answers the problem correctly in under 3 seconds, they will get a smiley face. If they answer correctly in under 10 seconds, they will get a green check mark. After 10 seconds, the student will see the answer and must type it in to move on to the next question. If the student answers incorrectly, they also must type in the correct.
So you can kind of see a little flavor of what will happen if you sign up for this program. They'll get to practice basic math facts, and then it tracks their progress of what skills they know. They're trying for fluency of under 3 seconds. So this is a good resource for teachers, parents, homeschoolers. Everybody can kind of use that one. My next resource is only for people in the UK. I wish it was available to people in America because it's really, really cool. They have these new daily lessons, and this isn't just for math. It's for all of their stuff. So like say, I don't know, year 4 for them, start a lesson. And it has English, it has maths. Let's look at their math stuff. And it talks about arrays. It has challenge problems. And then I think there's even, on some of them, they even have worksheets that they can do with them. And so it's pretty cool. Here's one. Maybe it'll have a worksheet with it. Learn. Sometimes it has a video. Yeah. I can't play the videos because I'm not in the UK. But even if you're in America, you can access some of their worksheets. And they seem to be very quality, very short, to the point. Lets them practice different topics. So I do recommend, if you are from the UK, this BBC Bite Size. And even if you're from America, you might be able to grab some good worksheets for your kiddos to do. And then this is another one. It's called Illustrative Mathematics, and it's a little bit for older kids. They say they're going to have something for the younger kids in 2021, so maybe check on it then. But for middle school and high school kids, they have a whole curriculum for them to do. So let's look at 6th grade. And they have things like area, ratios, expressions and fractions, arithmetic. So let's look at their arithmetic. So they have different lessons. They have about 15 lessons here. Let's go to adding and subtracting decimals. So they talk about, this is kind of more for homeschoolers and teachers, or if you're a parent that wants to, help teach your child maybe tricky subjects that they're having a hard time with, or nowadays, since we're doing so much virtual learning, that your kid might need some support in some topics. So this might be a good resource for you because it's all written out for you of what to do, what to say. And there's the lesson, what they'll be working on, practice problems, and then, and here's the practice. So it's a very complete math curriculum, and they have it from 6th all the way up to high school, and it's in the works to have it for elementary aged children. The next resource I have for you, it's actually 2 websites, and I will include the links to these down in my description because they're kind of longer website names. But I included both of these because there's just so many virtual manipulatives to use, and I really recommend these because sometimes kids need visuals to help them understand different concepts or to practice them, to visualize things, and so these are just really great to use, like 120 number chart. So if they wanted to practice counting by tens, but maybe they have to start with like a random number like 6, so they could mark with a color. They could be like 6, and let's count by 16s, or not 16s, let's count by 10. 6, 16, 26, 36, 46, 56, 66, 76, and so on. And it'll even clear it for you, and there's just different manipulatives for them to practice on this one. And then on the other site, they have even more. They have tangrams, place value, just all sorts of things. They even have different play money from different areas of the world. So like I'm from the United States, so if I wanted to use this with my kids, I could, just put different money. I have $1. Of course, they don't have the faces and symbols that our coins do, but it still kind of helps them with practicing. So you could show them this and be like, oh, how much money is that? That's $1.50. So they can even put the money, amount on here to show, that's $1.50. So that's 2 resources for virtual math manipulatives, which are really great ways to help your kids understand math concepts. Another one I have is kind of more as a family activity. It's called Figure This, and it's math challenges for families, and it's from a really great association called National Council of Teachers of Mathematics. So this is very quality material. What I did was, you can go to Take a Challenge, or I go to the challenge index to see all of them, but you can just click on one lineup. So it'll have a question: how long do you have to stand in line? And so you can do this as a family to figure out these different challenges, and they're not super long, and they're kind of more engaging and more real world based than just, what's 5 plus 5. So I like this as a family resource. Very, very good. And then my last one, I know I mentioned this in my reading resources video, but it's still true. Teachers pay teachers. If you sign up and you get a free membership to this, you can access their resources. So say you wanted to practice subtraction with your kid over the summer, type in subtraction, and then of course they're going to give the resources that cost money first, but then you can scroll down and click free, and then you can even narrow it down to grade level. So let's do 5th grade. And they have some games for them to play. They have some different activities, different resources that explain things, and then they have like quizzes and review questions. They have all sorts of things. Like just this topic, let's see, does it have how many? Yeah, there's 2,791 results, and these are all free. You can download them, print them off, and go on with your life. And so those are my 10 free math resources. Thank you for your time.